Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and we're here with Christopher Melcher to break down some new Britney news. Now, Christopher, so happy to have you here. I want to talk about these things. I want to talk about why TMZ is allowed to keep doing these horrific things that they're doing to Britney. We're going to talk about that, but also break down an exclusive that we got that I want to get your legal insight on. So, guys, there was a rumor and some stuff going out that Britney's new book is allegedly delayed over concerns about her delving into relationships with two high-profile Hollywood stars, as well as Ryan Murphy allegedly, wanting to create a tell-all show. Well, I can confirm. I spoke to some contacts.
Exclusive.
And I can confirm who those two stars are, Christopher. You ready for this juicy insight? Which two Hollywood stars are worried about Britney's book? Well, first up, it's an obvious one. It's Justin Timberlake. He's already apologized. This makes sense, given that he'd be worried what is going to be in this book, what's going to be said. He said some things about her that warranted him actually going out and giving not only apology to Britney, but Justin Timberlake. The other one, unless you really know your Britney, you may not remember this man, he was a wild guy back in the day, Mr. Colin Farrell. They had a fling during one of his premieres. They briefly dated, and then yes, there was some kiss that someone sold, and we got a clip of, man, it was gross. He was out there all over, but of course it was Britney's wild night. Whoa. All these men are never sort of called out, but Britney's the one who's always called out by the tabloids. But yes, Christopher, I can confirm both Colin Farrell and Justin Timberlake have reached out through legal representations, worried, or at least trying to figure out what's going on in this book. They want transcripts. They want to figure out what's happening. However, this is sort of silly, is it not? What are the legal requirements when you write a biography? What I'm hearing is they're not going to stop this book, but they have reached out. The one who is reaching out the loudest, we already know, I think everyone knows, Britney Spears, her father. He's publicly sort of announced that he's not going to stand for anything out there. But regarding these A-listers who are now trying to throw around like, well, what's going on with this book? What are you going to talk about? Does Britney and does anybody have a right to share their sordid details with their A-listers who are public figures?
Yeah. So this is her story and she has a right to tell it. And the people that went along that journey with her, she has a right to talk about. And again, she's telling her story, and these other folks can write their own books if they choose to. And they can talk about interactions that they had with her. And it's understood by the reader to be from the writer's perspective. So this isn't necessarily meant to be, some historical document. This is Britney's autobiography. So this is her life story that she's telling in her own words, through her own lens. And she has the right to do that. And in the United States, we have the First Amendment that provides, and yes, she has a ghostwriter that'll help her, but I doubt this person would make up anything. It's just helping her organize the book. Now, so in the United States, we have a First Amendment right. We have a right to express ourselves. And obviously putting our words into a book has a high level of protection. And now the person that she's writing about also has rights. Generally, we as individuals in the United States have a right of privacy, not to be thrust into the spotlight. We have a right to, not be defamed, so knowingly false statements made against us. But as you noted, these two individuals are public figures, and they've been in the news in connection with Britney. It's not a surprise to anyone. So they have lessened protections. We as individuals, including Britney Spears, has the First Amendment right in the United States to comment about public figures. Even though she herself is a public figure, she has the right, just like the rest of us do, to talk about other public figures. And those people being of high public interest, we have a lot of protections about what we say. Otherwise, we would be sued all the time every time we talked about anyone that was important. So she has an absolute right to do all this stuff. Now, are they going to threaten to sue? Yes. All these celebrities threaten to sue everyone that they don't want them talking about. So nothing new under the sun there. Will they actually sue? Yeah, they'll probably actually sue. Are they going to get anywhere? Probably not. And the reason why I say probably, it depends on where they sue. If they sue in the state of California, this is going to be dead on arrival. We have strong protections against these type of abusive lawsuits that are designed to chill the exercise of First Amendment, and those will be dismissed very quickly with an award of attorney's fees against the person to really punish them for bringing that. Now, you saw when Johnny Depp very smartly did not sue in the state of California, even though him and Amber Heard lived in California. He sued in the state of Virginia because that's where the presses were for Washington Post that actually published the hit piece against him. So he was able to sue in the state of Virginia because of the connection to Washington Post. And the reason why he did there is at that time they did not have those strong protections, and he was able to get to a jury rather than getting his case tossed. So my guess is on all this, yes, they're going to threaten. Yes, they're going to make a lot of noise. They may even sue, but I think they're going to lose, and they rightly should lose because she has a right to talk about whatever she wants to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, well said. I mean, it's interesting because I've also heard other details again because we've heard some stuff from a contact of ours. The book is filled with some deeply personal stuff, so deeply personal that apparently Britney herself is still debating whether she wants to release these, I guess, chapters or sections of the book. And what's encouraging, what I've heard through contacts, is that it's Britney's final call. Like she has the right, and she gets to decide whether this book will go out the way it is or when it goes out. While she's made this deal and Simon & Schuster is the company releasing it, it's encouraging to hear Britney is, given the right to say, look, when you sign off, we put the book out, but you get to have the sign off. And it's interesting, Christopher, because there's been a lot of talk about this book and how deeply personal and brutally honest it's going to be. And obviously Jamie has now gotten the most nervous, I think, even more than Justin and Colin. And maybe this is more just Justin and Colin's PR teams and legal teams, whatever, trying to just sort of figure out, well, what's in it? How do we prepare for this? But Jamie's the real threat here, clearly, and he's going to be exposed brutally. What is it? I mean, I'm just curious from a biography standpoint, like Simon Schuster even, like, what are the rules? Like, is Jamie now a public figure enough? Is she going to be able to, you think, really unleash and say what she feels happened with her own father? Or do you think that's going to cause conflicts in the ongoing conservatorship battle?
Yeah, there's a couple things going on there. One, Jamie is what we would call a limited public figure, so he did not put himself into the limelight like a actress or entertainer would do. He was thrust into the limelight because of his relationship with his daughter and the court case that went on. So we don't have the full right of comment against a limited public figure than we would for an all-purpose public figure. So he has a little bit more protection there, but she can basically say anything she wants to about Jamie Spears because there's a litigation privilege. And what the litigation privilege says is that if two people are in court, they basically can say whatever they want to about each other without being sued. Because otherwise, if we didn't have that privilege, any lawsuit that we denied the allegations or we made cross allegations would wind up in a defamation lawsuit, and there would just be endless litigation. So California and most all states have a litigation privilege. And so to the extent that this case is ongoing, the conservatorship case is still open. She's no longer under, the conservatorship was terminated, but there's still a conservatorship case. Things are being filed in that case almost daily. And it's because of the lingering accounting claims that Jamie Spears wants fees and the attorneys want fees. And for that reason, it's still open. So because there's active litigation between the two of them, she can say whatever she wants to. So his case also going to be tossed very easily. I think Jamie, what he's trying to do is probably want to find some reason to countersue Britney. And so there would be something to bargain with because he may end up owing her a bunch of money for what Jamie did to Britney in the conservatorship, and he's looking to kind of offset, is my guess. But his claim, I would imagine Rosengart would give it zero value because he can have it tossed very easily.
Well, it's interesting because there's also been rumors that not only Jamie, but also Kevin Federline are writing books about fatherhood. I just can't even imagine reading these two books, learning their fatherhood secrets. But there you go. They're also going to try to do it. The only one I feel like should be allowed to do this is Britney, because they're all going to write about Britney. But what's interesting is every time you see one of these TMZ nonsense specials, which I hear is just regurgitated nonsense. I've also heard from context that this special that TMZ is out promoting, Britney Spears, The Price of Freedom, is just another hit piece regurgitating all the BS rumors that they've already put out there. And there's nothing new or shocking or anything about it. Just a bunch of regurgitated TMZ nonsense with Harvey Levin trying to cash in and get those clicks. But every time TMZ does this, there's usually some sort of legal standing that's in the courts. It's always funny how that works. Britney is still fighting Jamie in the courts, and so that's what's happening. It does seem like there's still a big push in the media to vilify or make her look crazy. And whatever people's thoughts are on Britney and how she Instagrams, that's really none of my business and not the issue here. I'm excited for this book because I feel like it's going to be the first time she really gets to speak on her own terms. And I'm just glad to hear that they can't really stop it. I guess that was my biggest worry. Everyone's out there going to put a lot of noise, so be prepared for it. Please ignore this Fox special by all measures. This is going to be salacious as hell and awful. It's like TMZ learned nothing, Christopher, given all that they did to push her to the brink during the breakdowns that happened early on in the years, and now they're just right back at it. She's free, so I guess we can just do what we want again. Does this sort of stuff bother you? I mean, does she have any right against TMZ to be like, enough, or is it the same thing? She's a public figure. There's nothing really she can do to stop this.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, legally, they can print basically what they want, and they can have paparazzi, go around, take photographs. I mean, there are limitations now in California about, photographing people in certain circumstances. But look, I mean, they make money doing this. And it's, looking back at the history, and I remember when I was doing some YouTube videos early on, looking back at that history and what the paparazzi did to her, it's heartbreaking. And that any human, person, anyone with any scrap of empathy would understand what she was going through. And they basically pushed her harder and harder, hoping that there would be a reaction that they could get a photograph or video of and sell. And it's really disgusting. And I think that, we as a public, just deciding what content we're going to look at, and so they don't get the revenues. But it's, there's not a whole lot that can be done because this stuff sells. There's a lot of eyeballs on this stuff, but it comes at a great cost to who is being depicted in it. And this is the thing is that, celebrities are no different than the rest of us. They've had success and they've got money and fame, but they're people just like us. And if you're going through a custody case and you can't see your kids and maybe you have some mental health issues that you're working through, it's not hard to imagine that any of us would be pushed to the brink and could easily be pushed to the brink under those circumstances.
Well said. Yeah, it's wild. So we'll see. That's the exclusive and the details we got for this. I'm gonna go through the history, Colin Farrell stuff. We got more to go through, and oh my goodness, thank you, Fairies of Venus, for that support right there. I love you guys for supporting when we get this important coverage out there. Just one other quick thing to reiterate: this Ryan Murphy show, a tell-all show. I'm trying to get more specific, guys. Right now, all I can say is this is a rumor, but stay tuned if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Do you want that? Ryan Murphy's known for all his tell-all shows. It's going to be kind of crazy if and he usually does it afterwards, but if he actually can get Britney involved and to approve it and gets to do something, would it be scripted? Would it be docuseries? I don't know. I'm very fascinated to learn more about this, so I will keep you guys privy to it as I keep going over my contacts. If you guys have insight like this or insight, please loop us in at Popcorn Planet or at Popcorn Planet or at Andy Signor on social, and we'll make sure we get that info out to the world. Christopher, always a pleasure. Don't go anywhere. Just clipping this one for the video. Make sure you follow Christopher over on Twitter as well, over at CA_divorce. When he has updates, it's always good to hear from him. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, we're going to be live. We got lots more to talk about. If you missed the live, consider hitting that join button. Become a member today. You can always watch the full replays at your leisure and get all the news you want.